I'm officially 5 months raw, and I just want to go over 5 things that I do differently now. It's been a lot of ups and downs, ins and outs, trial and errors, opinions, and I made it through. And every day that passes, like, I inspire myself to continue to go on. And I was looking at a post from like a year ago, and I remember I posted something about, going raw vegan being on my bucket list, which is crazy because it's like I want to make it a lifestyle, but I had it on my bucket list to like try. But it's crazy because now I'm living that. So it's important to write it down and make it your reality. And it doesn't have to happen overnight, but just put it in your mind that it's something that has to happen, and it will. So I am living everything that I wrote like years ago. So I'm excited about that. But number 1, I just want to get into, which is intentional eating. So I know I touched on this before, but I just want to talk about some of the things that I started incorporating in my daily diet, such as beets. So I take in beets daily for iron. I used to supplement for it, but I wanted to take in more foods that were high in irons. And I also take in hemp seeds, which I use as a source for omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids. So I include them in things like dressings, homemade yogurt, and things of that nature, especially for my daughter as well. And it has been going great. I know a lot of people use hemp seeds for protein, and I know you guys are going to kill me for this, but I am not a protein type of person. And what I mean by that is, in order for you to be protein deficient, you also have to be calorie deficient, which is common in low income countries, and that's not the case for the US. Or you may have some type of health condition. I don't. So I don't really focus too much on protein, but I do focus on calories. So I take in enough calories daily. I'm not losing muscle mass or anything of that nature. And my focus is just not protein. Now, if your goal is to grow muscle, that's something different. Maybe it's something that you need to focus on. And that's something that I was focused on maybe a couple of years ago when I started my fitness journey. And I'm still on my fitness journey, but I love my size right now. And I'm really not trying to grow more muscles. So I don't have any problem with, my size or my muscle mass or anything of that nature. As long as I'm taking in enough calories daily, I'm good. I never sat down and said, what should I eat to get enough protein? That's something I've never done. And I know a lot of people were asking questions about it in my comments as far as when I was on my juice fast. I didn't even focus on it on my juice fast, to be honest. If you are focused on that, I would highly advise for you to do your research. I also did my research on it as well because I want to be able to give you guys feedback on it. And I think some of you I did give feedback on. But for those who were asking like what I do, on my own juice fast for protein, I always let you guys know, like, yeah, I don't buy into the protein thing, because I feel like in order for you to even get to that point, you have to be dealing with some type of health condition or some type of or you're not taking in enough calories, and I'm not suffering from either. I know you want to just be all in and make sure that you're covered. And if that's something that you want to do, I would highly advise you to do your research, but I'm not the person to give you that information if that's a concern for you. Anything else, I'm here for you, but that's not my focus, and it was never my focus, and that's just where I'm at right now. Which, even speaking on that, leads to number 2, which is criticism. I got a lot of comments from people saying that, I'm ruining my daughter's life, and I'm ruining my life and my health and all of that. It used to bother me in the beginning when I started sharing my journey, and I'm just like, oh my God, like, maybe I shouldn't do this, maybe I should do this, but I'm not an easily swayed person, and I know I mentioned that before, but I'm really not. So if you recommend something or you give me your advice, of course I am going to do my research. And if it's something that I'm already aware of or something that I already heard before and just know that it's not true, then I will just ignore it. But I'm on top of my game when it comes to a lot of different things. I did my research. I even researched common deficiencies on a raw vegan diet and took that information to make sure that I was getting that daily in my raw diet, so that won't be a problem for me. And so I'm very intentional with everything now. So it's never a situation where I'm just sitting back eating raw foods and not really, understanding or even knowing, what I need to take in daily as far as vitamins, minerals, and all of that goes. I am on top of it, trust me. And if I'm ever in doubt, I will go and consult with the doctor, not for their personal opinion, but for the blood work, because the blood doesn't lie. And anytime anything goes wrong, I'm not stalling. I'm like making sure I take action on it. And that's what allows me to stay on track. I'm not going to be deficient in anything because I stay on top of it. And if it becomes a problem and my doctor gives me her professional opinion based on my blood work results, then I will go from there and I will share that with you. But as of now, I am healthy. I don't have any health issues. My daughter is healthy, and I won't allow criticism to stop me. I know a lot of people were like, you need to go and eat meat. You should be eating meat. You should be eating cooked food. Like, go and eat some beans, go and eat some potatoes, go and eat some rice, go and eat this, go and eat that. Like, I hear you, but it's not happening. You know, it's not happening. I want to create a life for myself that works for me, and it works for me. If it does not work for you, I respect it, and I think that you should do what's best for you. But I do appreciate all the recommendations. I do appreciate all the comments. Like, it really helps me a lot, especially when you guys mention things that I never really considered or anything of that nature. It really helps for me to do my own research and kind of make adjustments, you know, in my lifestyle. And it's been great so far. So I just want to let you guys know that when you start your journey, there will be criticism from everybody. Hopefully you're not sharing your journey online for everybody to see, because most of my criticism come from YouTube, which is fine because I already knew that would happen. I already had an idea of what people would say based on some of the videos that I've watched that Christina posts. I know a lot of people do videos on her, like, oh, she's not living a sustainable lifestyle and things of that nature. And so I figured, you know, when I get to a certain point on my YouTube journey, that people would say the same. So I kind of mentally prepare myself for it, just based on some of the things that I've seen Christina deal with. Not that she reads it, but you know what I mean? Some of the things that I've seen and some of the videos that people made about her and her journey. It's so many people that are raw. Like, I don't think you understand. I'm not the first person to embark on this journey. It's so many people who have been raw for years and they are doing great. And it's only because they've been intentional about their nutrients. And that's what it's all about, to make it sustainable. If you're not being intentional about your nutrients and the sources, then you may have a problem. Number 3 is managing stress. So I didn't realize, you know, how bad it was, because I live in a city and I don't have family or friends who live here like that. All of my family lives in South Carolina. So it's like kind of tough when things come up and I have to figure it out myself. And I don't think you realize how much support you get from family until you move to another state. And you're like, oh my God, I have to figure this out myself. I have to do this myself. And it can be tough. And it did take a toll on me, you know, for a while. And my stress levels were up. It was to the point where, you know, I had to go and see a doctor about it because it was bad. And also my anxiety was up because it was like last year, I know it was a lot of talk about sex trafficking in Georgia, how bad it was. And I just got anxiety about it because I'm just like, oh my God, I'm in this city by myself. I don't want to go anywhere at night and have to come home at night. It was just bad. My anxiety was like skyrocketing. And my doctor even said to me like, oh, we may need to put you on a light dose of Xanax. And I'm just like, no, I'm not taking no Xanax now. But it's really about just managing stress, especially in your personal life. It's a lot of things that we go through that we don't like to talk about. It's a lot of things that we are afraid of that we won't speak on. And just to give you guys insight, you know, the whole sex trafficking thing in Georgia, like how bad it is. And I'm just like, oh my God, like that's a big fear of mine. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm trying to just manage my stress and anxiety and not let things like that get to me, because stress will like ruin your immune system. It will shut it down. And I don't need that happening. You know, I need my mind, body, and soul connection to be, you know, sync together. And I can't do that if my stress levels are over the roof, because nutrition won't even matter. Eating healthy does change your mood. It does have a major impact on your mood. However, if your stress levels are at an all-time high and it's consistently that way over a period of time, nutrition won't matter. So I started doing things like meditating more and just appreciating life, and also having moments of like gratitude for everything that I have right now. I noticed a major difference when I started managing my stress levels. Also, for you guys who do not know, my brother is schizophrenic, and I watched him go from being stressed to being depressed to being schizophrenic. And it's crazy because I never knew that stress and depression could trigger schizophrenia. And I was shocked. And we don't realize that stress could really alter a lot of different things in our bodies. I don't really talk about my brother much, but you know, it's a hard thing to watch because I watched him tell me that he's stressed. I watched him tell me that he's depressed. And then I watched him become this person that I no longer knew. He doesn't even have the power to pull himself out of it. And I'm not going to talk about it anymore because I don't want to get emotional. So we are going to go on to the next thing. Social life. So my social life was non-existent when I was on my 90-day juice fast, but when I decided to go raw, I realized that my life was continuing the same way, and I didn't like that. And so I had to create a new normal for me, and I needed that social interaction. And so I decided to, you know, do some research and figure out fun things to do while raw or while juicing. And I came up with some great things. So I found this sober bar called Sober Social, and it's a great place to hang out. They have a lot of great drinks. A lot of the drinks are infused with herbs. They have a lot of ginger shots, cayenne pepper shots, just a lot of different things that I love so much. And even if you don't want like agave in your drink because you don't want sugar, you can get sugar-free drinks. You can tell them to hold the agave, or you can just go for their shots, which is ginger shots, cayenne shots, whatever you want. Like, it's amazing, and I love the atmosphere. It's a great place to work. It's a great place to hang out, especially on a Saturday night. It's a great place to hang out in the afternoon if you want to grab some food and go and hang out there, because you can bring in outside food. And it's just an all-around great environment, and you can also meet like-minded people, and so you can also kind of network that way as well. I love it. Atlanta is such a great city when it comes to diversity. I love it so much because they support so many different lifestyles. I would advise to kind of sit down and figure out what places that you love. Like, do you love having tea? So you may want to find the local tea spots. I'm not going to get too much into that because I am going to do a separate video on that, but I created a social life for myself. So now I feel a sense of normalcy. So when my friends want to hang out, I'm just like, oh, we should go here, or we should go there. You know what I mean? So it's easier. And now I feel like I have a happy balance. It's a lot of restaurants as well that supports this lifestyle. Even though they serve other items, sometimes we get kind of lost into it because we see one thing on the menu or the name of the place, and we're like, oh no, we're not going there. They serve meat. However, they have an amazing salad bar, or they have an amazing raw menu on there as well. And so you just never know. You just have to do your research. But as I mentioned, I will be doing a separate video on that. So let's get on to the next thing. Movement. Movement is great for the lymphatic system. It also produces anti-inflammatory properties, which helps build and repair tissues and helps regenerate cells. It's so great for the body, and I think sometimes we sleep on that. A lot of people master nutrition but can't master the fitness and movement part, and vice versa. So you have to find a happy balance, because even when it comes to yoga, it releases certain energy. If you're spiritual and you're into spirituality, it's a great thing to kind of release negative energy and kind of raise your energy as well, and help your body channel certain energies to heal the body and to regenerate cells and to change your DNA. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of different things. If you're into spirituality, it helps a lot. So you may want to do any type of movement. It could be walking, it could be yoga. It doesn't have to be yoga, but it could be yoga. It could be just simply, you know, stretching, whatever works for you. You don't have to be in someone's gym, but you need to move the body, because you want to create that mind, body, and soul connection, because it really will change your life and help you find that happy balance and allow your body to naturally just want to heal itself. You know, when you have that imbalance with the mind, especially with the mind and body, you're not going to get the results that you want. You may see little results, but if you want to really heal your body, create a new life for yourself, become more joyful and happy, you need to be able to find that all around balance and approach the situation holistically. And that's what it's really all about. It's all about intuitive movements. Just tap into it and you'll be able to see a major difference on how your body responds to it. It's a lot of things that we don't pay attention to. We kind of just put all our focus on nutrition, but it's not always about nutrition. And I am learning that each and every day. Nutrition does help a ton, but that's only when everything else is in balance. If you have any type of imbalance in other areas, like when it comes to mental health, it's not going to work out. Or when you're not moving your body, it's not going to work out. Like I started doing things like cold showers. If you watch any of my old videos, you'll notice that I've been practicing a lot of other things as well, such as cold showers. I think it's really good for the lymphatic system as well. So it's a lot of different practices. When you bring them all together, it yields the best results. So I advise you to get that body moving so that you can get the best results possible. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in my next video because I will be giving you tips on how to create a social life that works for you while you're juicing or while you're eating raw. So stay tuned and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.